Today I'm going to show you how Ding Liren with the white pieces, reigning world champion, managed to defeat arguably the greatest player of all time, Magnus Carlsen. And it wasn't just because Carlsen blundered, but he actually kind of managed to outplay him as well. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Grandmaster Max Illingworth. I am a past Maytime Australian chess champion, high performance coach, and continuing to help players like you achieve your chess improvement goals. Now, I realise we fast forward a little bit to the middle game, but this is, of course, a very typical middle game for the Roy Lopez, or in this case, for the Italian, rather. It's kind of interesting because sometimes you have, like, the D3 Roy Lopez, similar structure, but, okay, also some differences, and the move knight f1, this maneuver of trying to bring the knight towards f5 is certainly well known from the Spanish, which is kind of where I guess I made that mental, malapropism, as it were. And black in turn doesn't want to just, sit and do nothing, because, white can also try to play on the queen side as well, right, with his extra space. So Carlsen plays a move of d5, and white in turn plays a move bishop e3, just trading off black's best minor piece. We have take, take. Black puts a knight on e7, trying to cover knight f5. And now at this point, well, let me know in the comments below, what's the move that you would play in white's shoes here? Because this is the sort of move that may not seem like the most critical decision. Might seem like, okay, you just play any normal move like ed5 or rook a1 or rook b1. Like, it just doesn't really matter. But sort of one thing you'll find with the very best players compared to just strong players is they don't just find, like, good moves, but they also set problems to the opponent. And a5 is like a very nice Soviet-style move of fixing two of the black pawns in place with just one of our own, right? So that if black does push the pawn, we can just take and, leave black with a bit of a weakness, also with 2-pawn island versus our 1-pawn island. So that's going to be pretty good for us, which is why Carlsen instead plays a move of knight to g6, and again, g3, just kind of killing the knight, applying the distance 4 concept. If you're enjoying this video so far, do make sure to leave a like on the vid, and also to subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, I would suggest that you tap that notification bell and set notification thanks to all. That way it's going to allow you to basically get all of my trainings, make sure you don't miss out on anything important, and ensure you're just going to improve a lot more quickly, which is ultimately why I create these videos. So, well, I also get a chance to skip through the more boring part of the game. Now it gets a little bit more interesting. Got a bit of a battle for the D file taking place here. I mean, to be fair, objectively, the position is just equal, but Carlsen finds this interesting move of c5, just trying to loosen up the white queenside structure with pawn sacrifice. Ding took the pawn, but now we see, that these pawns are going to be a little bit weak after black takes back on c5. So white now needs to find a little bit of counterplay, right? And, if you were thinking of a move like rook d6, and, maybe even sacking the exchange later and getting the knight in the attack, well, congrats, you actually played it better than Ding in the game. But in a game, Ding decided to go for the immediate knight h4 and just bring the knight to f5 this way. As Garry Kasparov liked to say in the past, an knight on f5 is indeed worth a pawn. That's one you might want to write down at some point, by the way, for the really serious students. But yeah, black plays rook d7. White decides to exchange, put the other rook on the d file, and now after queen c7, there is the question of how to defend the pawn on c4, but you're also facing the problem that the a5 pawn is under attack. So since you can't really defend everything, your best option is actually just to ignore it and go for the attack yourself with rook to d6. Black took the pawn with a tempo. White puts the queen on d3. Computer says you should probably play queen b2, but then you're probably not going to win the game. Queen d3 was played, and in this position, this is where Carlsen made his blunder that cost him the game. And, I mean, if you are someone who, like, let's say if I was showing this game in my paid coaching programs, for example, this is a moment where I would kind of, get you guys to pause the video and to, solve it for yourself. And you can still do that, but because there's YouTube where, a lot of you will be watching more for, let's say, edutainment purposes, I'm just going to show you the move that Carlsen played. So here, rather than, taking the pawn thinking, oh, maybe there's something scary of rook d8 or something like this, instead Carlsen thought he could play it safe with king h7, but sometimes when you play it safe, that's when you allow the bigger danger. And that's what happened with Ding's next move, and again, if you want to try and pause the video, see if you can find a move Ding played, it's a good time to do so. But for the rest of you, I'm just going to show you the answer. It turns out that white wins with the move of rook takes f6. And the point of this is after gf6 and queen e3, we have, Adrian called the queen on e3, Rocky Balboa the knight on f5, filling each other's gaps. There's no way to defend the king against queen takes h6, followed by queen g7 mate, which is, by the way, the reason why Ding resigned after queen e3. So, fun little game. That's how you beat Magnus Carlsen. Ding kind of made it look maybe a little bit easy, but yeah, it's still something that we can learn from it regardless of our level as a player. Let me know in the comments below, how you enjoyed this training, if there are any particular topics you'd like me to cover, or even if you just kind of enjoy this style and want me to do more of it. That's also very valuable feedback for me as well, just to help you guys as much as possible. On that note, I will see you in the next training. You should have a video being suggested for you, if not right now, then like the next seconds. And yeah, until then, take care.